Did you know that a sudden 5% increase in the sun's brightness could have catastrophic effects on Earth? It might sound small, almost harmless. Just 5%. But in reality, it would be like turning a delicate dial that controls life on our planet and cranking it past the breaking point. The sun is the heartbeat of our world. Its energy drives our weather, fuels our ecosystems, and sets the very conditions for life. Every sunrise is proof that Earth exists in a fragile balance, just the right distance, with just the right intensity of light. But what if that balance was suddenly shattered? What if tomorrow the sun grew 5% brighter? The answer is not what you want to hear. A 5% increase in solar brightness means 5% more energy hitting Earth's surface every second. That doesn't sound like much until you realize the sun already delivers 173,000 terawatts of power to Earth at any moment. That's more energy in a single hour than humanity uses in a year. A 5% jump would mean an extra 8,600 terawatts of heat. Instantly. This sudden change would send shockwaves through Earth's delicate climate system. The polar ice sheets would begin to melt at accelerated rates. Ocean levels would rise. Heat waves would strike harder and more often. Ecosystems, tuned to centuries of stability, would buckle under the strain. Humanity would face a challenge unlike anything in recorded history. 1. Climate and weather patterns. The atmosphere would trap more heat, leading to runaway warming. Summers would become brutal. Winters, shorter and less predictable. Hurricanes and storms would intensify as warmer oceans pumped more energy into the sky. Entire climate zones would shift north and south. Cities we live in today could become uninhabitable tomorrow. 2. Agriculture and food systems. Crops depend on a fragile balance of sunlight and rainfall. With just 5% more solar energy, droughts would expand. Soil moisture would evaporate, and growing seasons would become unpredictable. Wheat, corn, rice, the staples that feed billions, would suffer widespread failures. Food shortages would trigger economic collapse and global conflict. 3. Human health. Beyond climate and crops, human health would face direct assault. More solar energy means higher exposure to ultraviolet radiation. Rates of skin cancer would skyrocket. Heat waves would claim lives on a massive scale, particularly in regions already struggling with extreme heat. Cities like Delhi, Cairo, and Phoenix could become death traps in the summer. 4. The oceans. The oceans would absorb much of the extra heat, but at a cost. Warmer oceans expand, raising sea levels. Coral reefs, already vulnerable, would bleach and die at record speed, collapsing marine ecosystems. Fish populations would plummet, threatening food security for billions. The ocean, Earth's greatest climate buffer, would start to fail. Here's the most chilling truth. A 5% increase in brightness wouldn't just disrupt Earth. It could accelerate climate change to the point of no return. The melting of permafrost would have released vast amounts of methane, a greenhouse gas far stronger than carbon dioxide. This feedback loop could push Earth into a runaway greenhouse effect similar to Venus. Imagine an atmosphere so thick with heat-trapping gases that oceans boil away and surface temperatures soar to unbearable levels. Earth, the blue planet, could become unrecognizable. And it wouldn't take millions of years. With such a sudden change, collapse could begin within decades. So, what happens if the sun's brightness suddenly jumps by 5%? The climate spirals into chaos. Agriculture collapses. Human health suffers. Oceans fail. And worst of all, feedback loops could transform Earth into a hostile world, forever changed. The sun's stable brightness is not just a convenience. It is the foundation of life. And a 5% change would be enough to tear it apart. What do you think would happen if the sun suddenly got brighter? Would humanity adapt with new technology or collapse under the weight of change? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if this blew your mind, check out our other Cosmic Lens videos exploring the moon's disappearance, Earth's rings, and even the end of time itself. Because sometimes Asking what if is the best way to understand how fragile and extraordinary our world truly is.